We have all the injury news and updates that you need to be aware of heading into week 7 of the NFL regular season. There's a lot of injuries, especially to the quarterback position, so you're definitely going to want to stick around for this one. But before I get into it, if you could take a second, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you don't already, so you know when new videos like this go live. Let's get into it. Let's start off with some players from the Thursday night game. We have quarterback for the Jacksonville Jaguars, Trevor Lawerence, who's dealing with a knee sprain, and he is questionable for Thursday night's game. And honestly, I would not be surprised if the Jaguars sat him this week and next week, to be honest, given the fact that the Jaguars do have a week 9 bye week that would give him some time to get healthy for the second half of the season. But you are going to want to monitor his status leading up to kickoff on Thursday. On the Saints side of the ball, we have tight end Juwan Johnson, who's dealing with a calf injury, has missed the last couple of weeks. But if he does not suit up on Thursday, Taysom Hill becomes a viable fantasy option. We saw the Saints get him more involved in the pass game. He saw 8 targets on Sunday. So if Juwan Johnson sits, Taysom Hill becomes a viable fantasy option this week. But you are going to want to monitor these player statuses leading up to kickoff on Thursday. The Rams are dealing with a lot of injuries at the running back position. Running back Kyren is dealing with an ankle injury that is expected to sideline him for a couple weeks. Reports say he's expected to come back after the Rams bye week for week 11. Also, running back Ronnie is dealing with a PCL sprain, expected to be sidelined 4 to 5 weeks with the injury. So in the meantime, the Rams will look to Zach Evans and Royce Freeman. Detroit Lions running back David Montgomery is expected to miss some time due to a rib injury. There's been no specific timeline given, so it's the situation you're going to want to monitor over the next couple of weeks, but he is expected to be out this week. But head coach Dan Campbell did come out and say that running back Jahmyr Gibbs, who's been dealing with a hamstring injury, is trending in the right direction to play this week. So you're going to want to monitor his practice status leading up to the weekend. But the Lions could have back running back Jahmyr Gibbs, but they will be without David Montgomery. The 49ers are dealing with some injuries right now. Running back Christian McCaffrey dealing with an oblique injury, and wide receiver Deebo Samuel dealing with a shoulder injury. Both injuries are not considered long-term, and both have a chance to play on Monday night. But you are going to want to monitor their practice statuses leading up to Monday night's game. If Christian McCaffrey is unable to suit up, Elijah Mitchell and Jordan Mason become viable fantasy options. Raiders quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo did not practice on Wednesday due to a back injury. Honestly, I think this back injury is pretty serious. I mean, he went to the hospital during the game last week after it happened, so there is a level of concern. I do think there's a good chance that he sits this week, but you are going to want to monitor his practice status leading up to the weekend. A quick update on quarterback for the New York Giants, Daniel Jones, who returned to practice on Wednesday in a limited fashion, a step in the right direction for his availability for this week's game. Reports say that he's been dealing with some neck soreness, so I don't know if he's going to be able to suit up this week. It's a situation you're going to want to monitor throughout the week. If he gets into full practice this week, I think he'll be a full go. But if not, Tyrod Taylor will get the start. The New York Jets have traded wide receiver McCole Hardman and a 7th-round pick to the Kansas City Chiefs in exchange for a 6th-round pick. He doesn't stay long in New York, but he heads back to Kansas City, a familiar place for the wide receiver. Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson did not practice on Wednesday due to the shoulder injury, and when reporters asked him on a possible timeline, he said there is no timeline. He said, I could be back tomorrow, Sunday, a week from now, 2 weeks from now. There is no timeline. So it's a situation you're going to want to monitor. I kind of think there's a little bit more going on, but if he's unable to suit up, PJ Walker will likely get the start. Some good news for Cardinals fans. Quarterback Kyler Murray returned to practice on Wednesday after being activated off the PUP list, opening his 21-day practice window, which basically means that the team has 21 days to activate him to the active roster, or he'll be placed on the IR and can't come back this season. So Kyler Murray could be back in a couple weeks. Chicago Bears quarterback Justin Fields is dealing with a thumb injury after dislocating his thumb during Sunday's game. He's listed doubtful for this week. Reports say he's dealing with some swelling and he's not able to grip the ball. So he is going to be out this week. So the Bears will look to Tyson Bagent to get the start against the Raiders. And that's going to do it for us today. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you don't already. Until next time, lot 'em up.